afternoon, Class 6. How are you all? Hope you all will be doing good in your home. Okay, students? Okay, so we have completed the chapter number 11. है ना? In the last class, we have completed the chapter number 11, motion and its measurement. Okay, this chapter is completed. Now, our next chapter is for today's class. Chapter number 12, light, shadow and reflection. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about लाइट, शैडो एंड रिफ्लेक्शन. ये तीनों एक दूसरे से रिलेटेड हैं. कैसे वो हम इस चैप्टर में पढ़ेंगे. ठीक है, तो आज की टॉपिक है लाइट एंड शैडो. इन टुडेज टॉपिक वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट लाइट एंड शैडो and the reflection and the characteristics of shadow. Two more topic are there, we will discuss in our next class. Okay, so students, before starting the class I would like to introduce with light and shadow to you all. So first of all, take a look to a video, then after we will start our class. Okay,
light helps us to see various objects around us. There are different sources of light. These sources of light are categorized as natural and artificial sources of light. Let us learn about different sources of light. Items which produce light naturally are called natural sources of light. For example, sun and glowworm. Items which produce light artificially are called man-made or artificial sources of light. For example, torch, table lamp and lighted candle. Moon is not a natural source of light as it does not produce its own light. The sunlight that falls on it makes it look bright. Let us learn some properties of light. Light travels in a straight direction. Light is not seen, but the objects are seen when light falls on them. The object through which light can pass partially is called translucent objects. For example, butter paper and frost glass. The object through which light can pass is called transparent object. It can be seen clearly through a transparent object. Air and different gases are transparent as light passes through them. The object through which light cannot pass is called opaque object. It cannot be seen through an opaque object. For example, wood and stone. A shadow is formed when the path of light is blocked by an opaque object. A shadow is always formed in the opposite direction of light. Both solar eclipse and lunar eclipse occur because of these shadows. Let us learn about both solar and lunar eclipse. When the moon comes directly between the sun and the earth, the moon blocks the sunlight from reaching the earth and casts a shadow on the earth. This is known as the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse occurs on a new moon day. Let us perform an activity to show how a solar eclipse occurs. Take a powerful lamp and place it on a table. Take a basketball and place it on a stand as shown on the screen. Tie a tennis ball in between the stand with basketball and the table lamp. The table lamp represents the sun, the basketball represents the earth, and the tennis ball represents the moon. Light the lamp. You will observe that the tennis ball casts its shadow on the basketball just like the moon casts its shadow on the earth. When the earth comes directly between the sun and the moon, it blocks the sunlight from reaching the moon and casts a shadow on the moon. This is known as the lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse occurs on a full moon day. Let us perform an activity to show how a lunar eclipse occurs. Take a powerful lamp and place it on a table. Take a basketball and place it on a stand as shown on the screen. Tie a tennis ball behind the stand with basketball and the table lamp. The table lamp represents the sun, the basketball represents the earth, and the tennis ball represents the moon. Light the lamp. You will observe that the basketball casts its shadow on the tennis ball just like the earth casts its shadow on the moon.
so students, how's the video? It was nice, and may you all will understand the video clearly, the light and the shadow. Okay, in the next class we will discuss the characteristics and reflection. Then I will show you one more video related to reflection also. So let's start the topic. when you enter a dark room, what you will observe, you are not able to see anything in the darkness, and when you switch on the bulb, okay, on a bulb or a tube light, you are able to see everything. This is why this is, because this is a light. By this light we are able to see everything. ठीक है, जब dark है तो we are not able to see anything. When the light will be there, then we people will see everything clearly. So we need light to see the things around us. It is clear that we need a light to see things around us. Light is a form of energy and essential for life on the earth. Okay, because you know that photosynthesis process is done by the sunlight. We the people need light for our work. Animals also need light. Indirectly or directly we depend upon plants for our food. So light is a form of energy and it is very necessary in the earth for the life system. Now sources of light. अब तो light क्या हुआ हम पढ़ लिए. So where this light come from? So all the objects give out light is called a source of light. ठीक है, an object which gives light, that is called a source of light. So this source of light can be categorized into two forms, human and natural. Natural resources and human-made resources. So let's discuss about this natural resources of light and human resources of light. So natural sources of light are sources of light that occurs in nature. ठीक है, natural बोलने से ही समझ में आता है. The sources of light that occurs in nature are called natural source of light. For example, sun, stars, fireflies, some deep sea organisms, etc. These are the sources of light because they emit their own light naturally. Okay, now second one, human made source of light. So source of light which have made by human activity, human efforts, are called human made source of light. For example, burning of candle, tube light, bulb, lighted electric bulb, lighted torch, kerosene oil lamp, etc. So students, these are the human made sources of light. Hope you will all understand what is the source of light. They were categorized into two forms, an object which gives light, and they are categorized into two forms, natural source of light and human made source of light. ठीक है, now luminous and non-luminous object. You will hear sometime a word which is called as luminous and non-luminous objects. So luminous और non-luminous में basic difference क्या है और ये क्या होता है, चलो उसको discuss करते हैं. ठीक है, so an object gives out its own light is called luminous object. जो object होता है जैसे कि sun, वो अपना खुद का light देता है, उसको किसी other sources की help की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती. It gives out its own light, that is called as luminous object. So the sun is a luminous object. Okay, moon, no, moon is a non-luminous object because it gives lights to us with the help of sun. Sun का rays उसमें पड़ता है और हमको light दिखती है. So moon is not a luminous object. Electric bulb, stars, burning candle, and a firefly. This all comes under a luminous objects because it gives lights its own. Okay, without any help of other things. So the object which gives out its own light, that is called as luminous object. Now the second one, an object does not emit light of its own is called non-luminous objects. मतलब जिसको help की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, they are not able to give their light by its own. Okay, खुद का light नहीं होता. They give with the help of others. They light with the help of others is called non-luminous objects. Okay, like plants, chair, table, they are the non-luminous object, and the moon is also a non-luminous object. Okay, because they reflect the light from the sun into our eyes. ठीक है, जैसे ही सन के ऊपर मून के ऊपर लाइट पड़ता है सन का, वो रिफ्लेक्ट बैक होता है हमारी आँख में. दैट्स वाई वी आर एबल टू सी द मून, और मून इज लुक लाइक द लाइटनिंग ऑब्जेक्ट. ओके, सो दिस इज ल्यूमिनस एंड नॉन ल्यूमिनस ऑब्जेक्ट. क्लियर हो गया? नाउ science update is given in your book. Scientists have created a new technology which provides flicker fire star-proof lightning bulbs which are soft to our eyes and may soon replace the fluorescent light bulbs at homes and office. The light gives all the soft white light and not the yellowish reaction from fluorescence or bluish color bulb. This new lighting solution is twice as efficient as compound fluorescent like CFS bulbs. These bulbs are long lasting. जैसे कि पहले क्या था हम लोग 100 वॉट का वो येलो कलर का बल्ब जलाते थे which is very effective in our eyes. So scientist has discovered the LEDs and CFS which have very light and soft to our eyes. Okay. Now the transparent, opaque and translucent materials. So we have discussed this topic in chapter number 4 in very deeply. So let's discuss, introduce करते हैं फिर से एक बार इसको, because in this light is connected, that's why we are studying this topic. Light is connected. So let's start the transparent, opaque and translucent materials. Okay. So first one is transparent material. The material that allow light to pass through them, due to which we see the things clearly through them, are called transparent material. ठीक है. अब ऐसे substance और ऐसे material from where the light can easily pass. Light pass होगा, that's why we are able to see with the next door जो उसके पीछे में है, जो भी सामान है उसको हम देख सकते हैं. So this is called as transparent material. Okay. Example are clear glass, clean air, clean water and cellophane paper and transparent objects. They all are the transparent objects. ठीक है. लाइट का कनेक्शन है, जब लाइट पास हो रहा है उस ऑब्जेक्ट से, then we are able to see. Okay. Now the second one, translucent material. The material that allow only some of the light to pass through them are called as translucent material. ऐसे सब्सटेंस, ऐसे मटेरियल जिससे लाइट पास तो हो रही है बट थोड़ी सी हो रही है. Not all the lights were passed through the material. That type of material are said to be as translucent material. ठीक है. We cannot see clearly by this material. We can see wholly or partially. You can say. So the example is grounded glass, butter paper, tissue paper are the transparent material. See in the picture, figure 12.3, 12.4. You are able to understand it. Now the opaque material, the material which do not allow light to pass through them, due to which we cannot see anything through them, are called a opaque material. अब ऐसे material भी होते हैं जिसके आर पर हम बिल्कुल नहीं देख सकते. They do not allow the light to pass through them. They are said to be as opaque material, like wood, metals, clay, brick, wall. They are all comes under the opaque material because they don't allow the light to pass through it clearly. So here they are transparent, translucent and opaque material. ठीक है. So in activity 1 some objects are given and you have to classify the object whether they are transparent, translucent and opaque. So this activity is done by you people. Clear हो गया. Now here it is given, do you know, light travels very fast with a speed of 3 lakh km per second in air. Thunder and lightning occur at the same time. Okay, but we have always seen the lightning first and then hear the thunder. It happens because the light travels much faster than a sound. So जब बिजली कड़कती है आसमान में तो पहले हमको लाइट दिखाई देता है, देन आफ्टर वी विल हियर द साउंड. बादल गरजने का साउंड हमको बाद में सुनाई देता है बिकॉज लाइट कैन ट्रेवल मोर फास्टर देन द साउंड. सो इट क्लियर दैट लाइट ट्रेवल्स फास्टर देन द साउंड. ओके. नाउ लाइट ट्रेवल्स इन अ स्ट्रेट लाइन. अब लाइट स्ट्रेट लाइन में ट्रेवल करती है, उस फिनोमिनन को हमको पढ़ना है. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. व्हेन वी शाइन अ टॉर्च इन अ डार्क रूम, एक डार्क रूम में टॉर्च को ऑन करो तो यू विल सी द बीम ऑफ अ लाइट प्रोड्यूस बाय द टॉर्च ट्रेवल्स इन अ स्ट्रेट लाइन. बिल्कुल स्ट्रेट दिखाई देगा, जिगजैग नहीं होगा, वेवी नहीं होगा, बिल्कुल स्ट्रेट होगा. सो द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ लाइट बाय विच इट ट्रेवल्स इन अ स्ट्रेट लाइन इज कॉल्ड अ रेक्टिलिनियर प्रोपगेशन ऑफ लाइट. So the property by which a light can travel in a straight line, that property is called as rectilinear propagation of light. What is it? It called as rectilinear propagation of light. Clear हो गया? Here on one activity is given, activity number 2, to prove that the light can travel in a straight line. For the activity, what you have? A table, candle and a pipe, you can say, or rubber tube you can take. So what will you have to do? Take the rubber tube, light the candle and see with your eye. You can see light through a candle flame. एक कैंडल फ्लेम को तुम लोग देखोगे बिल्कुल क्लियरली, अच्छे से दिखेगा वो. ठीक है. अब सेकंड में क्या करना, मिडिल से कैंडल ट्यूब जो रबर ट्यूब है उसको थोड़ा सा बेंड कर देना. ओके, रबर ट्यूब को बेंड कर देना. क्लियर हो गया. सो ऑल ऑफ यू ओपन द पेज नंबर 146, पेज टर्न करो. सो व्हाट यू पीपल विल सी, you are not able to see the light. ठीक है, रबर ट्यूब बेंड हो गया and you can able to see the flame through it. So this conclusion will be there कि that light can see और दैट लाइट कैन ट्रैवल इन अ स्ट्रेट लाइन इन अ रेक्टिलिनियर प्रोपोगेशन ऑफ लाइट. अब वो स्ट्रेट है रबर ट्यूब, तो तुमको लाइट अच्छे से दिख रही है. वो थोड़ा सा भी बैंड हो गया है तो लाइट को, फ्लेम को तुम देख नहीं पा रहे हो. So this activity proves that the light can travel in a straight line or they need a rectilinear propagation of light. Okay, now here it is given the propagation of light. Propagation of light इसमें दिया हुआ है rectilinear. The rectilinear motion of a light can be represented by a ray or a beam. अभी rectilinear propagation कैसे दिखाई देगा, एक ray से या तो beam से. So what is a ray? Say the picture a ray of light, a parallel beam of rays and a beam of rays coming from a point or source of beam, source of light. ठीक है. ray क्या होता है? It is a line with an arrow. The arrow shows the direction in which the light travels. ठीक है, एक लाइन होता है एरो के शेप में, एरो बनाते हैं हम लोग. सो दिस एरो शोज द रेज ऑफ लाइन. ठीक है, एरो शोज द रेज ऑफ, शोज द डायरेक्शन इन विच द लाइट ट्रैवल. ठीक है, एरो क्या शो कर रहा है, किस डायरेक्शन में लाइट ट्रैवल कर रहा है. नाउ अ बीम, अ कलेक्शन ऑफ रेज इज कॉल्ड अ बीम ऑफ लाइट. अब रेज जो है कलेक्टेड है एक जगह पे, दिस इज कॉल्ड अ बीम ऑफ light. These rays may or may not be parallel. They may be parallel or they may not be parallel. If there is a point source of light, then the rays spread out. अगर एक point है, source of light है, तो जो rays क्या होगा, spread हो जाएगा पूरा. As you see in the picture, see a beam of rays coming from a point source of light. Point क्या है, source of light है, तो rays क्या होगा, पूरा diverse हो जाएगा, scattered हो जाएगा. Or the light may be parallel or not. So this is a ray and a beam. You have to draw this diagram, ray and a beam diagram, in your copy. Figure 12.7 तुमको बनाना है अपनी कॉपी में. This is your homework. The ray of light and the beam of light. Okay. Now the rectilinear propagation of light explains a lot of interesting phenomena related to light, including the formation of shadow. अब ये rectilinear propagation shadow भी बनाता है. तो light हम पढ़ लिए. Now we are going to discuss about the shadow. Due to this light, a shadow is formed. That's why this light and the shadow are related to each other. So let's discuss this one. Okay, shadow. Shine a torch. एक एक्टिविटी दिया हुआ, उसमें क्या करना है, तुमको एक टेबल लेना है. अब एक टॉर्च को ऑन करना है. ठीक है, ये हो गया. नाउ प्लेस अ बुक बिटवीन द टॉर्च एंड द टेबल. उसके बीच में एक बुक रख दो. नाउ आफ्टर यू विल ऑब्जेक्ट what you will observe. Book is a opaque material, as we all know that, opaque object. So it will stop the light to pass through it. So in the next to the book, a shadow is formed. A dark color shadow is formed. Okay. Therefore, appear on the table behind the book. There is the shadow of the book. जो dark color का appearance तुमको दिखाई देगा, it is a shadow of the book. So you can say a shadow is a dark space or shade formed behind an opaque object when it blocks the light from any source of light. So opaque objects के behind पे कोई भी dark shade form होगा through the source of light. अगर light उस opaque object पे पड़ रही है और उसके बगल में behind the opaque object one dark colored shade will be formed, that is the shadow. Okay, because it blocks these opaque objects block the light to pass through it from any source of light. So this is a shadow. Now what are the conditions essential for the formation of a shadow? तो सिंपल एक्टिविटी को इतना ज़्यादा पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, मैं तुमको एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ ऐसे ही. अ सोर्स ऑफ लाइट. Whenever the source of light will be there, a shadow will form. जब तुम धूप में चलते हो, जस्ट अपोजिट रहता है तुम्हारा सन तुमसे, तो तुम क्या देखते हो, तुम्हारे सामने एक शेडो का फॉर्मेशन होता है, तुम्हारी परछाई का फॉर्मेशन होता है. बिकॉज सन इज द सोर्स ऑफ लाइट, यू आर द ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट एंड द शेडो विल फॉर्म. सो फॉर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ शेडो द कंडीशंस आर, फर्स्ट अ सोर्स ऑफ लाइट इज नीडेड फॉर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ शैडो. ठीक है, कोई भी सोर्स ऑफ लाइट का बहुत ज़्यादा होना ज़रूरी है. ओके, इन द नेक्स्ट पेज, सेकेंड ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट तो हो गया, सॉरी सोर्स ऑफ द लाइट तो हो गया. नाउ द सेकेंड कंडीशन इज अ ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट लाइक वी, द वुड, ट्री, जो भी ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं विच नॉट अलाउड टू लाइट टू पास थ्रू इट, दे आर नीडेड. सो two conditions are there. First, the source of light. Second one, the opaque object. Then a shadow will form. There are the two conditions essential for the formation of shadow. First, the source of light, and second, any opaque object. So the opaque object stop the light to pass through it, then a shadow will form. Okay, so ये कंप्लीट हो गया. तो hence for the formation of a shadow there must be a source of light, one, an opaque object to obstruct the path of light. Okay. Third one, an opaque screen behind the object. बिहाइंड द ऑब्जेक्ट एक ओपेक स्क्रीन भी होना चाहिए जिसके थ्रू लाइट पास नहीं हो रहा, तब तो शैडो पड़ेगा. हमारा जो शैडो होता है वो सरफेस पे पड़ता है, ग्राउंड पे. तो ग्राउंड इज ऑल्सो एन ओपेक सोर्स, जिसकी वजह से लाइट वहाँ से भी पास नहीं हो रही है, तो हमारा शैडो वहाँ पे दिखाई देता है. ठीक है. सोर्स ऑफ लाइट, एन ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट बिहाइंड द स्क्रीन ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट. ऑब्जेक्ट के बगल में भी एक ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट की ज़रूरत पड़ती है टू फॉर्मेशन ऑफ लाइट, सॉरी फॉर्मेशन ऑफ शैडो. So these are the three conditions. Okay, hope you will all understand the topic. Now students, we are going to discuss the multiple choice question. Take the correct answer. First one, which of the following is a translucent object? Tissue paper is a translucent object, option number B. Second, which of the following is a non-luminous object? Answer is moon. Moon is a non-luminous object. A. Third, which of the following is required for the formation of a shadow? A source of light, an opaque screen behind the object, and an opaque object. All the three conditions are required for the formation of a shadow. Option number D is correct. Now the fourth one, a dark space formed behind an opaque object is called a shadow. ठीक है. जस्ट अभी 1 मिनट पहले हम इसको पढ़े. द डार्क स्पेस बिहाइंड द ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट इज कॉल्ड अ शैडो. ऑप्शन नंबर ए इज करेक्ट. Okay. Now the fifth one, the property of a light by which it travels in a straight line is called dash propagation, rectilinear propagation of light. ठीक है. अभी हम लोग पढ़ रहे थे इसी को, rectilinear propagation of light. ऑप्शन नंबर ए इज करेक्ट. हो गया सबका. So the characteristics of shadow and the reflection, the two topic were left. We will discuss these two topic in the next part. Okay students, this is enough for today's class. Hope you will all understand the topic very clearly. The chapter is very easy. बस क्या करना है तुम लोगों को, कंप्लीट होने के बाद वीडियो चैप्टर को एक बार रीड करना. Then you people were able to understand the topic very clearly. Okay students, thank you so much student for today's class. See you all in the next class. Okay, bye.